of franchise season of Madden 20. We are facing Pittsburgh Steelers. They are 5-10, and we are 15-0. And we will see how we do during the first half and the second half. It doesn't really matter if I win or lose, but we will find out if I win. Of course, I'm going to use Lamar Jackson the most, but we will see.
Ingram. It's the coach, and this is the NFL.
Let's get it going, guys.
Coming up, running back Mark Ingram, fresh off a big performance a weekend ago, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So Lamar Jackson in his second season, the Heisman Trophy winner of 2016, leading the Ravens onto the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson, flush to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Willie Snead. His 17th touchdown now on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass, and that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Steelers under longtime head coach Mike Tomlin. They will be led out by their two-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, now in his 16th season, the veteran Ben Roethlisberger.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
On first down, Connor going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Fielded just inside the 20. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens.
When you've got a guy that fast back there to receive punts, that's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they mishit the ball and kick it right to him.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On first down, it's Samuels. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Yeah, defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drives, exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on this. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Cam Hayward, always a force, got back there for the sack. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle. Going to be key. They didn't get one there. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't.
Now being hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here's Jackson rolling to his right. He's going to got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Quincy Enunwa with touchdown number 7 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. On third down, Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 30. And he's loose again. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A 71-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, You would title this one, "I Have to Remember," wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down. Second and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Ready? 230.
Think about some of the memorable performances that Ben Roethlisberger has had over the years, and one of them came against the Ravens. He threw 6 touchdowns back in 2014 in a win against Baltimore. And actually, now that I think about it, that was on the heels of a 6-touchdown performance in a win over Indianapolis the week prior. So October of 2014 was kind of Big Ben. On second and 9, Roethlisberger. Ryan Switzer, the intended target, and it's third down. The Steelers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third and 9. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. They'll get 34 yards there.
We got this.
For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Here's Roethlisberger. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. The Steelers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third and 8. Roethlisberger will throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And Boswell's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. To throw is Jackson.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson eluding the pressure right. There goes a deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Quincy Enunwa. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as his guys continue to pour it on. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker with the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And the previous drive put him up over 1,000 yards for the season. So now it's what you like to refer to, my friend, as gravy time, right?
It is. I mean, he's done it, right? He's accomplished the goal. So the good players, they relax a little, they bask in it. They think this is, okay, we've done what we set out to do. The great players decide to push that number as high as they possibly can. I don't expect him to have any let-up in his game the rest of the way.
Great thing if you're on the opposite side. He's such a weapon. He just opens things up for the other guys around him.
Yeah, if you're the opposite receiver, you should expect a few passes to come your way, too, because I've got to kick coverage in his direction.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the second down pass play only went for 2. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Jackson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here.
The second down pass. No gain on the play. It's 3rd and 10.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Now Jackson under pressure again, and down he goes again. A surprising move to go for it predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Here we go, here we go.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Now, the intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels, but now it'll be 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Roethlisberger. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. Now a play fake here on first down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of got a man that's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket and wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. 13 games going on here this final Sunday of 2019, the final Sunday of the regular season. 3 more games still to come following us. Raiders, Broncos, Cards, Rams, and Niners, Seahawks. And then we'll know the 12 teams who will continue on into the playoffs starting next Saturday here on EA Sports. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now Roethlisberger, and that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
This is taken at the 15. A great return there. Bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Meanwhile, over in Cincinnati, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. Dalton with 2 first-half touchdown passes. Jackson away, and it falls incomplete. Steven Nelson able to get a hand in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing is Jackson. He's got the first down and more inside the 40.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big first down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our Halftime Report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home, scored twice on the ground. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 5 touchdown passes have him on a record pace. As for the call of the second half, we'll turn it back over to Brandon and Charles.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now it's Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down. The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And the pressure gets to him again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Well, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 20. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they've got it set up on the silver platter. 1st and goal inside the 10. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt. And he will force his way into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to pour it on. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone.